So come here to the Cannes Yachting Festival to find out whether the world of sailing and the world of powerboats is doing anything to become more sustainable. And it looks like we've struck gold with our first interview. We've just held a podcast with Carlos from Dhamma Blue. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see an absolutely beautiful powerboat, a motorboat behind me. It's about 8 meters long, and it's a fantastic powerboat, firstly because it has absolutely great dynamics, but also because it's powered completely by hydrogen. Now, what does that mean? Well, maybe you've seen one of our sustainable aviation films already from ZERO-EMISSION, who are using fuel cell technology to get planes in the air. Well, Dhamma Blue is doing exactly the same thing on the water. Let's listen to Carlos, one of their chief engineers, and find out what he has to say. So I'm here with Carlos Hariba from Dhamma Blue. Carlos, thank you for taking the time to be with us today.
You're welcome.
We're just waiting for a stinky diesel motorboat to get out of the way. It's loud, it smells, it's early in the morning. I haven't even had a coffee yet. Carlos, why do we put up with this stuff anymore? I don't understand it, right?
Well, it has been working for years. For sure, it's a very reliable solution. However, we are in a different moment right now, and we need to push for new alternatives that are already available and that can do a total change, which is what people are looking into now, and we will all need to do.
And here we are on Dhamma Blue, and this is a world first, if I understand correctly.
Let me point that it's a Spanish first hydrogen boat.
Okay.
There has been other projects, especially in the northern European countries.
Okay.
It's one of a kind. This is an 8-meter boat with fully hydrogen power, and the company Dhamma Blue is totally focused on developing, designing, manufacturing, and commercializing hydrogen boats, which is overall sustainable boats. So we are also putting a little bit of focus on the construction, but the main change that we want to pursue is propulsion.
Sure. So let's just break this down a little bit,
Yeah.
and let's understand exactly what we're sat on here. So it's a hydrogen boat, as you just rightly said. We'll talk maybe a little bit later about the materials the boat is made out of. But when we talk about the propulsion, the thing that makes the boat move forwards and hopefully sometimes backwards too, then it's hydrogen powered.
Yeah.
Now, I remember working at BMW back in 1998. They had 7 series that were running on hydrogen.
Okay.
And this is like, 25, 27 years ago now.
Yeah.
I feel very old when I think about that. But the thing is, like, hydrogen, you can use it with a normal combustion engine, but you're using a different approach here, right?
Yes. We are using a fuel cell approach.
Mm-hmm.
So the way it works is we have an electric drivetrain.
Mm-hmm.
So we benefit from all the advantages of the electric propulsion, which are many. This is we do a silent sailing, which is, well, I will elaborate a little bit more on that, but we use a very flexible configuration, so it's very easy to scale electric energy.
Okay.
Electric power,
Mm-hmm.
and you benefit from high performance motors, very efficient configurations, and then we put the hydrogen into a fuel cell where it turns into electricity in a silent process with the only byproduct, which is water. Okay, and we use that energy to drive all the propulsion.
So you're taking hydrogen, which is basically a sustainable fuel. You can take it out of the air. You can even get hydrogen with solar energy, right?
That's right.
And then you store the hydrogen on the boat, just the same as you would store a fuel like diesel or petrol on a boat. Yeah, mainly diesel.
Yeah.
And then you're using the fuel cell to turn that into electricity, and that's just running an electric motor then, right?
Exactly.
That's fantastic, huh?
Almost like magic. We are very used to combustion engines, where there is explosions and a very noticeable release of energy.
Yeah.
In this case, this is a chemical reaction.
Yeah.
So you put the hydrogen, as you explained, which is stored as a gas.
Yeah.
You mix it up with some oxygen that you get from the air around.
Okay.
And that combination in the fuel cell produces the energy in a totally silent situation.
So maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the actual fuel cell itself. This isn't a new technology. Fuel cells have also been around for many years, right? but it's got stuff inside the fuel cell. It's not just oxygen and hydrogen we put it together.
No, exactly. This is a reaction that takes place because the combination is together with some materials that they are the ones that the membranes from the fuel cell are made of. Okay, platinum is one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so this combination of materials produces a different of voltage.
Yeah.
And this different of voltage is the one that we are using in the end. A lot of people ask about refitting projects.
Yeah.
This is a totally different system from a diesel engine or from an electric boat.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of things that needs to be taken into account while designing the boat.
Okay.
So the whole boat is designed around the system.
Okay.
The hydrogen system doesn't take a lot of weight, which is a main setback for the boat.
Yeah, better than a battery, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
but it takes space.
Yeah.
So it's important to balance well the weights of the different components and to adapt the volumes you have to this equipment.
Okay.
Also, by designing it to around the system, is for us is a very important thing to do is to balance well.
Yeah.
The power for the different components, the energy that can be stored, the speeds that you are going to get, and how the whole boat is going to perform in a normal use.
Because, I just realized something. Like, if we look at electric cars, like, we drove down yesterday all the way from Lake Constance to Cannes in an electric vehicle, and I just love our car. We've only had it since January, had a couple of hybrids beforehand. It's our first pure electric vehicle. We stopped twice to charge for like 15 minutes. Both times we ended up charging longer because, we wanted a little bit of food or something. It's just been a really stress-free experience coming down here in an electric vehicle. And the great thing about electric vehicles is that when you have an electric vehicle, you can actually then start redesigning the whole vehicle. Because previously, with a combustion engine, then it's generally at the front, sometimes middle, sometimes back. But you've got these kind of standard situations. With an electric vehicle, you can start really completely rethinking things.
Yeah, exactly.
But if I look at a boat, you can rethink a lot of things, but actually the water that's going over the hull is always going to be the same. So the fluid dynamic effects, they're always going to be the same, right?
Yes, you're right. The most, or one of the trickiest part is the balancing of the weights.
Okay.
Because usually when you look at a planning hull such this, you usually will have an outboard motor which is taking the most of the weight, or an inboard motor that is usually located in the back.
At the rear, So
that makes there are very typical parameters to consider for the planning itself. In this case, it's not that easy because we have a big battery, we have a big hydrogen generator that takes a lot of space, and that made the necessity to adapt the hull. It can't be seen from the outside, but down in the water, the hull is a little bit special, not something radical. That takes these parameters into account.
I see, to get the stability with that weight and to
exactly, good trim while sailing at planning mode.
Okay, well, I mean, the best America's Cups have been won by the Australians with groundbreaking technology you only see under the water, right?
Totally.
I see. And if I just look here, I can see there's like a cover to get inside. Is this, there's like actually a bunk in there as well?
We have a cabin on the inside.
That's larger than I expected. Okay.
Yeah, it takes you can do some power naps there. Then we have a solarium in the front. Okay, so you can enjoy when you are out on the water anchored. You can lay there. We have a very big solarium also in the back, and a very open layout, which is one of the things we like the most about it, because it's a very comfortable boat to use. That we wanted not only to rely on the change of technology, but also to offer an attractive and comfortable boat for the users. So they can, something that we say a lot of times is, we have a differentiation, which is the propulsion power, for sure. But people won't bet on change just because they are convinced by them, but also because they like them. People don't buy an electric car normally because they are convinced of the zero emission, but because they love the car. They love the performance, they love the silent, and then they are saying, okay, I want this. Okay, so we want to do the same approach. We have we can offer a boat that is already likable by itself. And then you get a differentiation. You want to make a change, you want to make a statement, and you have it, because it is about well balanced that works, that already provides the answer to the question of what do we do with the emissions and what do we do with the range, which is a very important part for to be out at the sea.
You know, Carlos, this is exactly why we're here today as well, because this is the core of what we do at Progress Factors. This is to do with the whole Earth Circle, the movement that we're creating. It's all about proving to the world that actually, you know, it's not a compromise to do something that's good for the planet. Exactly. Quite the opposite, there are benefits. Tell us about the benefits on this boat, because as you say, it's a fantastic boat with a good conscience. Tell us some more about that.
The first thing that everyone notices is it is silent. Okay, so you go out of the mooring and you can't hear a thing. And then you start running a little bit faster out in the sea, and you are keeping a conversation like we are, because you are not starting to have a you know, the background from the petrol. And then a lot of people get into the moment that they say, okay, this is like an electric boat, the typical one that you do a tour through the canal very slowly, and then you show that just with a push of the throttle, it flies away.
It's instant torque.
Exactly. The motor is very strong. So the way the electric motor develops, delivers the power is quite different to a diesel one. So it delivers maximum force with a little bit revs. So it's the instant power is
straight there,
amazing.
Which is important for a powerboat, right?
Yeah, exactly. People were always wondering if we could do water skiing. And we proved them 1 month ago in a lake in the north of Italy. That is perfect for water skiing.
Really,
Yeah, because you're just waiting there, and in a couple of seconds you are planning. That's the good thing. You have a very good performance. It's not a performance boat. We need to say that. With the top speed is 28 knots. So you won't go up to 45, 50. It's really a little bit crazy.
It's like a 140 kilowatt motor or something, right?
140 kilowatts.
140.
That's,
wow.
190 horsepower equivalent, something like that. It's powerful, but if you turn the head around, you will find a lot that are 400 horsepower. Still, 28 knots is a very big. It's a very great speed. Even it's uncomfortable if there is a little bit of sea state. And both the cruising speed is about 13 knots. And at that speed you can do up to 65 miles more or less. Of course, depending a lot of state. And that's where we have a big differentiation from an electric boat. Okay, the electric boats, depending of course on the configuration, but sometimes the main problem they are facing is range. Okay. And that's okay for when you do very short travels, trips, or when you have a well-known estimation of
how far you need to go and how the weather's going to be, so you know how choppy the water is.
Exactly. But this is something tricky for the sea, because in the road you can always park it, you know, and walk away, call a cab, or just wait for the battery to go up again. But in the sea, it's a very different situation. Also, there is a lot of applications where you need more in terms of range. All the chartering companies, during the summer, they have an intense use of the boat. So that's where we are not comfortable by only having electric propulsion, from batteries. So that's the main advantage.
How long would it take to actually load a hydrogen boat? I mean, how many liters of hydrogen do you have in here? It's gaseous hydrogen, if I understood.
We have a 350 liter tank, which is very big. But people usually are surprised because we only carry 8 kilos of hydrogen.
8 kilos is 350 because it's a gas, right?
It's a gas, exactly. And the thing is, hydrogen is the less dense material in the universe. So you need to compress it a lot to get enough amount of mass inside the tank.
And this is the tricky bit, right? How do you keep it inside the tank? Because it's the smallest molecule, right? We've done podcasts with nuclear fission project as well. Focus energy. You got to hear about this. This is going to be a total game changer, creating as much energy as we like atomically without any problems, instead of splitting the atom, pushing them together. But they push hydrogen isotopes together. But tell me, how do you keep the hydrogen in the tank? That's the hardest challenge, right?
To be honest, not really, because, well, the tanks that are already in the market are well developed, are high level technology as well. The technology has been evolving since a lot of years already, so they are totally reliable. If we had any problem, the tank is the less of our them. Of course, it withstands, it's bulletproof, it's fireproof, it's amazing. And there is of course a lot of safety measures that need to be applied and are applied because of the flammability of the hydrogen. This is something that we need to deal with. The hydrogen has a very wide range of flammability.
So in temperature range,
and in concentration wise, in terms of in the air. So from 4% concentration in air, it's already an explosive
I understand.
mixture.
So
that's for sure. It's very difficult to get if you don't let the hydrogen out. But there is also a lot of additional measures at hydrogen detection. So you get early a 0.0042 percent concentration of hydrogen, then you shut down the system and you avoid more leak. And
I see. So as soon as the differential pressure changes, then you say, okay, we have
much earlier. As soon as you detect a little bit of a hydrogen particle in there. So you don't need to lose much hydrogen to shut the safety measures. And then what you were asking about hydrogen volatility within the tank,
leaking out.
In our experience, we don't need to deal with that. The tanks is so good that we can't observe that
can you
phenomenon.
Store hydrogen overnight in this boat?
We have had the hydrogen stored for 1.5 months. Barely noticed.
And I know a lot of people are going to ask you questions about what about the infrastructure, but to be honest, for me, that's the smallest problem, because the great thing about hydrogen is you can produce it pretty much anywhere, right?
That's a typical question. So it's the chicken and the egg. So if you don't have a demand, you don't have reasons to develop the infrastructure. If you don't have the infrastructure, you have difficulty to deliver the demand, right? So what we are doing at Dhamma Blue is working together with the station manufacturers and with the hydrogen producers. So we can help the early adopters to get a whole package. The good thing right now, what we observe is that the first applications for the infrastructure will be mostly mobile stations. So there are a lot of station developers that they are already putting them into on a trailer, so they can bring it around. So for example, if we reach an agreement with Marina hereby for next summer, maybe they can for a showcase, as happened in the America's Cup back last year in Barcelona. They brought a mobile station. They left it there for 4 months. They were bringing the hydrogen, and I will talk about that in a moment. And then you can disassembly move it at another place, or change it for a bigger one. So it's not that you need to get into a big investment to develop a station that will need to be replaced 2 years after. But coming back to the hydrogen generation, that's one of the advantages of the hydrogen. You can produce it in place if economically it's viable because of the cost of the energy, local energy cost. It's perfect thing to do. So when we approach the marinas for the infrastructure, we always can consider two alternatives, which is the refueling station itself, or the refueling and generation station.
I see.
So in some places it wouldn't make sense to produce the hydrogen in place, because you can't scale up the energy plant, and then it's not very economic efficient. But you can bring hydrogen. The same a petrol station gets refilled every week. You know, the big trailer comes, put the petrol, and they distribute it. But for example, if you are in a small island where
Yeah.
it's logistically difficult to bring the hydrogen every
Yeah.
week,
Yeah.
you can just install a
Yeah.
generation station
Yeah.
and then produce it in place.
Okay.
And then you can just deliver.
Perfect.
So it's a perfect circle.
Yeah, it's excellent. I mean, it's such a brilliant thing. And let's just talk a little bit at the end now about the company itself as well. Carlos,
Yeah.
you're one of the fantastic engineers. You're making the magic happen, to take your word from earlier on. But tell me about Dhamma Blue. So, I think you're based in Madrid.
Yes.
We joked about this earlier on. There's a lot of water around Madrid. Tell me a little bit about the actual company, the name, where it comes from,
So
the vision behind it. Yeah.
Dhamma Blue was born back in 2023, October, I believe, after some discussions between people that were convinced about this. So it was founded by Felipe Esposito and Robin Imaz.
Okay.
And Robin Imaz is a naval engineer and a professional sailor.
Yeah.
And Felipe Esposito is a businessman that has a company, DH2 Energy,
Okay.
that is a hydrogen producer.
Okay.
Okay, so both together, Robin, who had the idea of a hydrogen boat, I work with Robin, by the way, and Philippe, who is fond of this topic as well, were convinced to start a company and develop the first prototype.
Yeah.
So the idea is to demonstrate that the technology is already here.
Yeah.
The technology has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
But it has got to a point that is easy. That is not something only for the NASA.
Yeah, I understand.
So it's already working. There is a lot of actors already playing the game.
Yeah.
The technology has evolved a lot.
Yeah.
So it is already a true answer to the question of what would we do with the emissions and the atmospheric contamination and all of that. The company wants to design and develop hydrogen boats.
Yeah. Okay.
Different sizes.
Yeah.
We started with the smallest inversion possible.
Sure. I understand. That's a sensible place to start.
Exactly.
Right?
This is something that is about that can be moved around very easily in the back of a truck. So it's quite good for that. Mostly that we reached a good point because we could produce a prototype. We have learned a lot about how to integrate the whole technology, which is the most tricky part. Yeah. And we are ready to go to be on the market. Yeah. Okay. We are already getting pre-orders. Yeah. We are working a lot with, as explained, with the refueling companies. Yeah. So we want to do some partnerships or just work with them in a collaborative way to make it easy for the marinas and early adopters to get the technology. Yeah. And mostly that in a nutshell.
Okay. Well, just tell me one thing about yourself. Why are you here? What's your passion?
I'm a naval engineer. Okay. I studied in Madrid. Okay. Which is one of the biggest schools of naval engineering.
Really?
In
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
And I started to work with Robin in his own design office in Madrid as well, 7 years ago. Yeah. And well, in the naval engineering school, we study hydrogen as a solution. Yeah. So we came together with we could do this. We could make this work and make it in a way that doesn't stays as a
theoretical,
barely working prototype. Yeah. Okay. So I'm passionate about engineering. Yeah. It's a very amazing process to start thinking in something and fight with it until it is a real thing. Yeah. That's for me is the most important part of my work. Yeah. So it's not something that just stays on a paper or that someone gets on a mail and then make it work. So to be able to think about it, imagine it, perfection
and turn it into
and
reality.
turn it into something that I can drive.
You're building the future, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
it's a very, very good
Okay.
feeling.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Carlos, I want to thank you for your time today. I want to
You're
thank you for
welcome.
what you're doing for the future, so that future generations can enjoy getting out here in motorboats. Only it's electric,
Totally. They
hydrogen-powered motorboats.
We are not so far than these futuristic movies where everything is clean, silence.
Yeah.
You just hear a small rumor like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is already happening. This is here.
Yeah.
And for sure, in a few years, we are going to see to look back.
Yeah.
And see. Okay, this already happened.
Yeah.
We are in the future, and this is now.
Well, listen, I want to thank you so much
Thank
for
you
your
very
time
much for
today.
your interest.
It's
and
been a
for
great
what you
video.
are doing.
Yeah.
That's great. I think you do a very good thing to bring to show that a lot of things can be done and are working.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing to do.
Thank you very much indeed. I appreciate that
You're
very, very
welcome.
much. All right then.
All right.
So once again, thank you to Carlos, thank you to the whole team at Dhamma Blue, firstly for our podcast, but also for working to build a better planet, working to build a better experience for you and I. And hopefully you enjoyed that podcast and you heard from Carlos that he said we're building a better boat and also making it sustainable. It's not about getting a good compromise with a sustainable solution, it's actually using the advantages of sustainability to make a better experience. If we all club together and we all work to build a better sustainable world, then I'm sure we'll all see very, very soon that there are very few arguments to work with carbon propulsion in the future.